This is the story of Gary Sugget and his wife Barbara of 62 years. Gary was born in 1938. Coach Suggs, take it away.
Hi, I'm Gary Sugget, otherwise known as Coach Suggs. I was born in 1938, March 12th, and my parents lived on the north side. I went to grade school at Union Ridge, and I started first grade with like 13, 14 kids, and when I graduated out of 8th grade, 10, 11 of them were still all with us for the 12 years. And then my dad's job moved to the south side, to Blue Island, and all of a sudden I get thrown into a high school that's got 2,000 kids. From 12, 13 kids, I go to 2,000 kids, which 500 were in the freshman year, sophomore, and so on. And I played sports in high school. I played baseball and I played football, but baseball was my big passion. Our team the last year when I was a senior went downstate, and we came in fourth, and we had a good time. And then I was a letterman, which was a club that I didn't play basketball, so you had to work the concession stand then, because I played baseball and football. And so I'm doing the concession stand at a basketball game, and here comes this cute little freshman up, and she wanted a Pepsi. So gave her a Pepsi, and about a half hour later she comes back, she wants another Pepsi. So I gave her got her another Pepsi, and then half hour later, here she comes again, and she says, "I don't have any more money." And I says, "Well, I'll buy you a Pepsi." So I did that, and I says, "You wouldn't like to go to the show this weekend, would you?" And she says, "Well, I got to ask my ma." And I says, "Oh, okay." And she gives me her phone number, and it so happens that I went out with her sister, her older sister, 2 times. Nothing happened or nothing, but I just went out with the sister, nice girl. And she says, "Yeah, Gary's okay, just let him go ahead and they'll be all right." Well, that was the start of everything, and 3 years later, we got married. And it was good, it was fun. I had her for almost 62 years. She passed away this year in March, and I still miss her. But after high school, we went together for 3 years. We had a good time. And when I graduated, I started out in a machine shop. I thought to myself, I had machine shop in school, and I got straight A's at it, and I liked it. And then I'm sitting at home enjoying myself, figuring, well, this is the life. I'm sitting around with my parents' house, and my dad comes in, and he says, "I think I got a job for you." And I go, "Oh, shit." So he takes me down to Ideal Tool, where they used to do, my dad was in a slitting company, and they used to sharpen the blades. Ideal Tool sharpened the blades for them. And I got interviewed, and I started that Monday on the night shift. And I stayed there for 40 years. That's the only job I ever had other than goofy little jobs in high school. And I was an apprentice for a while, then I was a machinist, then I was a tool maker, and then I finished up in quality control, and then I retired there in 96. And then we came out here, and my wife wanted to come out here. She said, because everybody that we know back there eventually will come through Las Vegas, which was true. And she says, they won't even want to stay with us. They'll stay down on the strip or whatever. And that was also true. And it was a true story, because I don't know how many people that came through that we went and seen them or they come here. Okay, now a little bit about my wife, Barbara, the special person in my life. Everybody loved her. She had so many friends. It's totally unreal. But like I told you before, we met in high school, and everything started from there. We got married, and we got married. I was under 21, and Barbara was under 18. So back in Chicago, the male had to be 21 and the female had to be 18. Well, we didn't, so we had to take both mothers downtown, Cook County thing, downtown to get the license to get married. So anyways, we got married, and my work, the insurance would only cover 9 months for pregnancy. So we sweated that out and sweated it out. And 9 months, 3 weeks, here comes Karen, the joy of my life, a special person. And she takes after her mother a lot. And then 2 years later, my son came, and the same thing. He's just great, you know. He does his thing. He didn't get married till later in life. I think he was close to 30. And then all of a sudden, he pops out 4 kids in 5 years, you know, to make up time, which I have 4 grandkids with him, and I got 3 grandkids with Karen. But anyways, Karen got married, and we had a big wedding. It was good. And then Gary, like 7 years later, got married in a big wedding, and that was good too. It was fun. Gary played baseball when he was 8 years old, 7 or 8, and he was on the Pee Wee team. And I wound up coaching with this other gentleman, and we started all over again. And I played baseball all the way through high school. I played semi-pro for 2 years, and then I got married to Barbara. And then I hadn't done nothing from 22 years old to 30 until my son started the Little League. And thank God, because I was getting heavy. So I would work the kids out and play with them and everything else, and my weight came down very nice, and I got to my old self again. And it was fun coaching. And then my wife got a team, and she kept losing and losing, and she says, "Come on out, can you help me a little?" She had an all-girls team, and I said, "Sure." And I go out there. I work nights, so I could do it in the daytime. And I says, "Have you been taking batting averages?" And she says, "Yeah." And I says, "Well, give me that, and let's see. I'll watch a game." So I watched the game, and then I moved everybody around on her, and then I moved the lineup around on her, and the next thing you know, she's not losing any games. She's winning and winning, and I think she won the whole thing. But getting back to my son, we went through Little League, and I would scream and yell at the umpires, and like every coach does. And when my son went up to regular Little League at 13, they made me umpiring coach, where I had to find the umpires. But getting back to the Pee Wee League, I had to umpire a couple of them games, and the kids are all right, but the parents, oh man, they're a bitch. One game, they kept on me and on me and on me for the calls, for this, for that. So I stopped the game. I go over to the third base. They're all sitting in the stands. It's loaded. And I says, "Any more work out of you guys, and you're going to have to leave the field." And I go back umpiring. It was good for about an inning, and then it started all over again. I went over and I cleared the whole stands. Out they went. They had to all stand out in left field and watch. And I didn't have any trouble after that umpiring. But then I said to myself, I ain't picking on the umpires anymore either. So we went from there. I did a lot of coaching all the way through my son's thing to 15. My son played hockey, then he played football. he got into motocross, and then he got me into it. I was in a woodsman class, and he was like sponsored by Honda, and he was really good. And it was great. It was a great time. My wife would take a lot of pictures and go on, and like I said, my wife did tons and tons of different jobs. She had her own company for videotaping and weddings, and she owned her own store, which didn't work out too good, but she tried hard. And everything that she did, she became the manager or whatever. And she also was a go-go dancer, and she was very good at it. And she had three girls, and they would go to different places. She had a guy that would promote them, and they would go to different places, and then they would stay at a certain place for a while. And then in Calumet, people that are only accustomed to Chicago, Calumet was all syndicated and known, and they called Barbara up and they said, "We're going to get rated. Can you bring your girls in?" And Barbara said, "Sure." So she brings them in and going all that, and it's their first game, first day, and they used to do a song, a shotgun, "Shoot a Boy Right Now." So they had their little pistols and everything, cap guns and that. So they're going through and this is half the night's over, and the shotgun song comes on, and they go and they're shooting their things, and everybody in the joint's under the tables. So the owner came up and he says, "Barbara, if you would, please don't do that song anymore." But anyway, that was a part. Barbara was fun. She was happy. She always did good. I was doing the golf, and she was doing her thing. And she would do her weddings and that. And on her 50th birthday, I had my daughter Karen get one of her friends that Barbara did not know, and said that she was getting married, and it was going to be at the place in Crestwood, the hall at Crestwood that we could rent. And the girl also said her thing was there, and her wedding was going to be there. So Barbara's getting all ready to do this wedding, and we go, and Barbara takes off for her wedding, and then I shoot over to the place, and we get everything. We got everything in. We got Barbara canceled and not canceled, but delayed, and she came into the place, and everybody's saying, what do we bring? What do we bring? And I says, "You guys bring a couple quarts of Pepsi or a 6 or a 12 pack of Pepsi." Well, the whole wall was, I never seen so much Pepsi in my life, and somebody made a big Pepsi truck, a semi that went across it. It was so cool. And going back to the Pepsi thing, Barbara would work nights a lot of times, and when the kids would come in, Barbara would wake her up, and Barbara would say, "I don't want you waking me up until you bring me a Pepsi." So the kids would come in, bring her a Pepsi, and then she was fine. So anyways, the Pepsi thing lasted with the whole thing of Barbara's life. And she came walking in with all her equipment and everything, gonna do this girl's wedding. And we all yelled surprise. It was great. It was really something. It was her 50th birthday, and that was good. That was cool. And then on my 50th birthday, which was before this, my dad died at 49, and I always said to her, "I don't know if I can make it to 50. I was all worried about getting to 50. And we had a bowling league. We go on a Sunday, and we go and Barb says, "Oh, we got to go over here." So I go, "Okay, we'll go out of the way, get there." So I come to my place, and there's cars all over, and there's my son's car. And I says to Barbara, "God damn it, that Gary's holding a party at our house, and he hasn't got out of here yet." So I walk in, and there they are. They surprise me. They're not talking to me and that. They all said he's dead. And going on and on. It was good. It was fun. But that, I got into Barbara's 50th thing, but mine was first, and then that one. And it was cool. That's all the stuff we did. It was good times. One thing about my kids, they always paid me back. Never once did they hump me or anything else. They were very good with it. That's the advice I got to them. But their kids are older now, and they got all good kids. There isn't a bad kid amongst the seven that I have. They're all good. They all do their own thing, and I just hope some of that rubbed off on me. I was the finance one in the family, and my wife was the one that liked to spend money. But my wife would always earn her money to spend it. So there was no problem there. Barbara would do her things where we would live good. She'd buy this and that, and I had all the finances for the house and everything else. So that worked out pretty good. One of the reasons we got to almost 62 years is I worked nights for 27 years, and we hardly seen each other except on the weekends. So that helped. It's all good. It's all fun. I got 7 great grandkids. I got 2 great kids. I've had a super life. As of my buddy here who's doing this thing, he's a good friend of John West. And John West, one day we're driving in the car, and I got the cancer. Barbara's bad. And John West says to me, and they say that the golden years are the good years, huh? And I says, John, I'm past that. I'm 81 right now at the time, and I says, my golden years, I've had them. And I had one hell of a time. And I'm into softball big here. We traveled. I have 3 World Series rings, one with the Sun City teams, and the other 2 with teams at Lorenzi. And I've been managing now for a long time, and that's why I'm Coach Suggs. And the team here is fantastic. The guys are unreal. When I got the cancer and I was in a hospital, they all come one day into the hospital, a whole bunch of them. They're all in uniform. They come in, the nurse walks in, wow, we're only supposed to have two people at a time. Nurse didn't care. She had all these older guys that are all good-looking guys, and let us all stay. And we had, but the support I had for my wife and myself, I couldn't be better. And as I said, my wife passed away, and I went through 6 months of chemo, and I'm on remission. So I hope to live a little bit longer. So that's it in a nutshell.